Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Backstage Pass. I'm your host, Vince Edwards of Sound Image Productions here in Northern California. You might almost also know me from Beyond the Backstage Pass on Facebook and Death by Loadout, which are two closed roadie groups. Here tonight with me is my good friend Kyle Thomas.
How you doing, brother?
Buddy, it's so good to see you. How was your week, man?
Good, man. Staying busy, trying to get my clientele up, do a little bit of mixing on my off time here. Once the live sound thing comes back, I don't think I'm going to have too much time to focus on it, so we'll see how it goes in the next couple of weeks here.
Makes good sense, makes good sense. I know you did some traveling over the last week. You're up in the Emerald Triangle. How was that? Pretty up there?
Beautiful, yeah. Nice time off.
Great weather, man. No two ways about it. It's a beautiful day here in sunny California, 80 degrees. We're living the dream. I don't know about you, man, but the whole work situation, it's kind of coming down lately. I've been handling it pretty well for the past 3-4 months, but whatever the hell the number has been.
It's sitting on me now. Yeah, I agree,
I'm
dude.
starting to feel it a little more than I had. And any coping tactics you can share with me?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Dude, go explore your hobbies. Go out and go figure out something else to do for a bit.
I'm in trouble there because I just try to be good at my job, a good man to my woman, and good on this show. That's my hobbies. That's it. That's all I got.
It's so hard when we base like so much. It really is how much of our identity we truly make off of, especially this industry in particular. And to take that away, it's just like, okay, well, I got other shit I could do. Like,
yeah,
I guess I'm gonna focus on that for right now.
Yeah, it's been tricky. And I'm sure for the audience and many people in the audience, we sure see it on the groups, on the Facebook groups where people talking about it and putting up memes and dealing with it in different ways. You know, a couple people are pretty pissed off, and we have Sammy Hagar's talking about coming back out, and he's willing to take a bullet for every artist to go see if he can put on a live show.
Well, you know, it's sad. The more and more research you do about what's to come with our industry, just draws more questions and more fear.
More uncertainty.
Yeah, more uncertainty.
That's right.
So it's like I said, it's just exploring other options. Like right now, I came in a couple days ago, and I'm like, man, I just don't know shit about cameras. I know nothing about that interfacing of anything. So it's like, okay, maybe since I have some time off, I'll focus on that away from, my other endeavors.
Right.
It's like all these other times that we've always been working. And it's like now I feel like it's more the precedence to try to utilize this time in a positive way and learn something.
Well, you've always been good that way. Whenever there was time, you're also, good on post-education. So I know you got your schooling and you got your practical, physical, hands-on experience. But as the technologies change and boards, I know you're always updating on boards. You've been leading we spoke about this before, leading the way on the S6L training. That's been really good. You came in, I think, early today. Must have did a couple hours on it.
Yeah.
It's super fun. You got to admit, there's a lot of little things to play with, and the Pro Tools rig's good on that. That's that custom-made Diablo Digital system.
Oh yeah, Diablo Digital's been great helping everybody out, and
amazing people.
It's just interesting. It's like now that I've gotten the console down, it's like now I'll just go through the whole manual, maybe 50 pages at a time till I go through the whole thing on the desk. Now that I know how to operate it, it's like all the weird bits and pieces now are gonna come together.
Well, by the way, just throwing it out there, Winston wants to come in. Winston Dame, one of our good friends, friend of the show, old pro, guy's done it all, wants to come in and play around. And I thought maybe we could pair you guys up. Yeah, definitely. That'd be good. So as you know, we always trying to get the best guests on here. Sometimes, all these people so far have been my friends and long histories with, and I get along with all of them and love them and appreciate them coming to the show. Today we got really lucky because, there's some people you just have a rapport with, a way you can talk to each other. Super straight, super funny, a little evil, a little hard. That's today's guest. He's a great guy. I'm really happy to have him in this show. Let me give you a little background on him. He does a lot. He's the owner-operator of the Pre-Light Studios, has been for many years. He's an LD that's done it all in the lighting game. He's been around for a good 25, 30 years. He's worked with some huge stars, really big shows, really big tours. U2, David Bowie, R. Kelly, NXS.
I don't think you're 6 feet away,
Nine Inch Nails.
You're concerning our guests.
Family Values, which was, of course, Korn and Limp Bizkit. I'd like to introduce the man of the hour, Mr. Tom Thomson. Tom Thomson. How you doing, buddy?
Thanks for the chair.
Yeah. He made us.
Miss this chair.
I know. He made a special request. Tommy gave us this chair. He gave it to me. I want to say a year and a half ago. Threw it in the shop and it turned into my smoking chair. He made a request that it be the chair he uses tonight because Cool Hand Luke in it over here.
I don't know how he does. I don't know how you do this all the time.
I'm kind of addicted. Plus I got that little epilepsy thing. So
I'm just trying to be like you, man.
No, it's never going to happen. I mean, I own that space. Glasses in the building. That's
right there.
Oh, much
you
better.
made my day.
Can you see me, Tom? Over here.
I see you.
Yeah, you're doing the voice thing. He's doing it by sound. I know this guy. Buddy, how you been? How you? We were just talking about the COVID thing. How you handling it?
Handle it, man. You play the hand you're dealt, and just do the best you can. And kind of what Kyle was saying, pick up new stuff, man. I turned into a motorhead. It was like, miss my calling. I love it. I'm just like tinkering with. I got a bunch of friends. I got an old lawnmower. You want to try to fix it?
You're playing around with small motors. You doing car work too?
Yeah. Nah, not yet.
I feel like I got a lifter problem out here.
I got
maybe hook me up.
Yeah, no.
No. Oh,
oh sure. Yeah, I'll try it. Is it your car?
I got like a screwdriver, some
Is it
duct
your
tape,
car?
and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're all over that.
No problem.
You say hook me up.
Oh, I'll fix it. Don't worry.
He's a great friend. Like I said, he's always there for you.
I'll do anything you want.
Here on the show, we got a couple format kind of early questions, and we kind of widen up in the middle. But I think people are interested in origin stories. And yes, that was a fat joke. You're not wrong. It's that COVID-19. I found all of them, and that's happening. And of course, the cameras, adding 10 more, so it looked a little beached. But you could be nice now, but I don't expect it to happen. We got 20 more minutes of this, so it's going to be fun.
You want me
Hold
to be
on
nice
tight,
on this
buckle
show?
up. No, I never said that. I never made that as a stipulation.
Because I wouldn't have been.
East Coast, hard.
Drove an
I love
hour and
this
a half
fucking
to
guy.
be here to be nice. You kidding me?
No, it was never going to happen, and I like that about you. I like that. It's one of the most fun parts.
And
he's also worked here at Sound Image for us and done a lot of stuff, and we always had a very snappy back and forth that was super fun. He was the boss of the pulling out, getting the lighting out for the shows, and I'm the boss of getting the shows, the audio part, and we always had to work together, and you made it fun, dude. Seriously, I miss you. I hate to be all mushy, but I know you don't dig it, but seriously, you're a pain in the ass, and I love you. How did you get into business? Tell us about how you got into the business. The audience likes to know this, and why specifically lighting?
Well, okay. It's pretty easy. I was going to University of Delaware. Mm-hmm. Might be one of 5 people in this state that
criminal state of the union.
Criminal State of the Union. I actually got a degree in economics, but I needed to make money while I was in college because, it's not free, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So I read this. I wish I remember the name of it, but it was like stage, craft handbook or something when I was in
Was it
high school.
Backstage
No,
handbook?
it wasn't.
Not this one?
No.
It's a great book.
If I saw it on there, I would have told you about it.
Oh.
But it broke everything down, because I was really into sound. I was really interested in sound. So I just started going to clubs and started asking questions to the sound guy. And next thing I knew, I got a job. I think they were paying me like $50 a day. It was fantastic. $50? You kidding me? To do this? Yeah, absolutely. And then they started running out of work. This audio company, but right next door there was a lighting company. It's my best friend to this day, owns the thing. He's got some lights in this building. Scott Humphrey from Light Action.
Light Action, great man.
It was about, I guess, about an 800 square foot operation.
Oh, this is early in his career because his operation's considerably larger.
I think his office is that size now.
Yeah, right. It's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
So he was paying me $75 a day. So, geez, come on.
Good stuff.
Economics,
Well, you said studied it, so you knew that was a good move.
I knew that was a good move. Yeah. But this is Gigi. Hi, Gigi. Lie down.
Oh, Gigi's in the house, guys. We forgot to mention. Hello, Gigi.
There was, I watched a few of these before it came on here.
Yeah, she's number 4.
I just want to make sure. You never know. I want to make sure I wasn't getting myself into some sort of snuff film. I don't know what you guys are doing here.
You can bring your what is this? Your
we figured we'd surprise
you. Dogs, and figured, Gigi, she needs. I got to add to her show reel because she might be supporting me here pretty soon. Put her on some dog shows.
You end up in Westminster, doing the walk.
Yeah, well, about
making
that.
a big dough.
Yeah,
yours free, Cal can.
So anyway, I worked for Light Action for a couple years, got out of college, got my degree, saved up a little cash, flew out with my friend who I'm still friends with till today, out to LA because he had some people, like real job stuff. But I flew out there anyway, just in the off chance. I took my resume. Off chance, just walked into Light and Sound Design and met Jeff Mateer. And 4 or 5 weeks later, I think, I loaded up my van. I had an old Chevy Astro, I think.
Yeah.
Just for, running gear around. And I just cruised out there, and a buddy of mine that I went to college with lived in the next town in Agora Hills. Newbury Park is where Light and Sound Design was. Mm-hmm. And then I worked in the shop for like 10 days. Next thing I know, I was out on tour with NXS.
Jesus Christ. What year was that?
93, 94.
You were out on the Kick tour.
I was.
Yeah, that was a huge fucking tour.
Yeah,
They
I
did
got like
really
the
big.
second leg of it. I hit with Kai Cabot was the LD.
No kidding.
But
great break.
What was it? Yeah, I don't know. I forget.
Great band, great break.
Keith Bradley was the production manager, so yeah, he's pretty big time. I walked in the office one day, and I looked like this. Oh, you're a roadie? Okay.
Yeah.
I walked in the production office. He's like, "What are you doing here? Like, what is wrong with you?" I just was like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So
No, that's your
since
first
then,
big break. That's how you got in.
that was it. Yeah.
And you fell in love then.
Well,
I mean, you seem to be an ardent Light fan. You know, as audio guys, we heard. Yeah.
I started audio.
Were you ever in theater or something?
What's that?
Were you in theater or?
Something in school.
Band?
I thought I read in your.
I did a little bit for. I was part of the Student Program Association. I booked all the bands at University of Delaware, but I also would be free labor for those shows, but also for theater stuff. Gregory Hines came in. He walks in and
Wow.
I'm staying on the stage trying to look busy or whatever. He's like, "Hey, I'm Gregory." And I was like,
That must have been amazing.
"Really?"
Yeah, man, it died way too early.
That was my first. Yeah,
He's a great guy.
that was my first
Amazing dancer.
star thing. So.
Good actor as well. He was kind of the full package. I don't know if he could sing, but he had a lot of skill, a lot of talent.
I honestly don't remember, but I know he was talented for sure.
Yeah.
And super nice guy,
Wow. Yeah, great.
as most of them are. I think most.
Yeah, we're lucky to work around talented people, and
Yeah.
you know, not to undersell the fact that you're extremely talented as an LD, just all-around lighting guy. You know what? We've done a few shows together through the time we've known each other, and I've always been impressed, man. You tend to be, although your job title doesn't say do everything, but you go out with the crews and you friggin' climb and pull and rig and run. I mean, dude. Like, your work ethic is insane. What's the secret to that? What's going on? You're always flying when we're on set. It's any...
You know how I am with compliments.
You love it.
What are you doing? Do I have to
But
put the
it's
glasses
true,
back
though.
on?
We were actually putting, we were actually talking about it with the crew, and they were going, yeah, man, he's always, yeah, you kill it on site.
Yeah, just
the work.
I have to attribute that to just not being very smart.
That's ridiculous.
I get other people who are better at it, get them to do it. you know?
Most smart people think they're dum-dums.
Yeah.
I think everybody goes to the minute of feeling like they're going to be found out as a fraud, like they're not who they
Yeah, there's a bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you proved it on some of the largest tours in the last. I mean, seriously,
Do as
like
I
on what
do,
YouTube
as I
tour when you were out with YouTube, we were you were the moving light operator, right?
Yeah.
That was you handled all that.
Programmer and moving. Yeah.
Which one was it?
It was.
Were you out on the claw?
Pop Mart.
Oh, Pop Mart with all the TVs
Big
and the
arch.
Yeah.
No, that was Zooropa.
Oh,
That was an awesome tour, but I didn't do it. Everybody I was working with had done it, but had the big yellow arch, and it was fantastic. I got lifelong friends from that.
any good stories? Any backstage stuff we should know about?
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I mean,
Enlighten us.
well,
Give us a PG, maybe a PG-13.
after they did a DVD in Mexico City, and I guess they were looking at the dailies, what they call dailies.
Sure.
And after the show, and I was loading out. And by the time I got back to the hotel, I heard that everybody was across the street at the bar, and I didn't know who everybody was, but the whole band was in there, and Willie Williams, who's the lighting designer, was there, and apparently he had already told the band about this one shot they got of the Edge. That was the guy. I got to introduce you to him. And I walked in. Willie's like, Bono, this is the guy I was telling you about. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Bono gave me a hug. So,
very touchy guy.
Yeah.
He likes to touch. He's a hands-on fella.
And that's another band that, they're huge, but it's just like sitting here talking.
Yeah, down to earth.
Yeah, I mean.
Not all of them are like that, but they definitely.
Not all of them, but
yeah.
I guess I've been lucky. I don't know.
You're very approachable until you open your mouth, and then people are like, what the hell did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're mean. I like that about you.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, well.
I hear the Edge like to give you wake-up calls. What the hell is that?
All right. So after that tour, a couple years later, I had stopped touring. I was getting married. That's over with. Had some kids, whatever. But I was still had to do stuff. So I was doing. There's the Experience Music Project in Seattle. It was. I haven't been there since, but it's Jimi Hendrix. It was going to be a Jimi Hendrix museum. I think that's. I don't know what. It's something like that now. But there's a thing called Sky Church there, and I heard it's still there today. But it was something that we built in previs, and I did a lot of the programming for about a week with Willie, because that was when the Grand MA1 first came out, and it was like
kids in a candy store.
It was but it was also like defusing a friggin' bomb.
Yeah.
Like when's it gonna crash next? So anyway, we were doing nights because there's glass and it's daylight in this space. So we had press the next morning with what's the head guy, Paul, the guy from Microsoft. Anyway, the guy that owns the place. Mm-hmm. So we had to be back for press for him. But we were working till like 7 a.m. And I get a call on my AT&T Nokia flip phone. Mm-hmm. This was like 99 or something. I don't know. And there's a guy on the other line. He says, is Willie there? And right away, I'm like, oh, geez, we're late. My instinct already went to,
I'm late.
I got to get over there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't recognize the voice, but it sounded foreign. But anyway, the production manager was English, and when I'm that groggy, it's like, geez, that's him saying, "Where are you guys?" So, yeah, we're on our way. Don't worry, we'll be there in a minute. He's like, "Oh, all right. Well," he sounded confused. He said, "Could you tell him the Edge called?" I was just like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, all right, no problem. I'll see him in a minute. I'll tell him. All right, see you, Edge." Hung up, went over. Willie was already over there. I show up. I'm like, I just got a wake-up call from the Edge. He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, because Willie didn't have a cell phone. I hope it's okay. I gave him your cell phone number because they were going to call to talk to me they're in Paris, and they needed some questions about production from previous tours or something."
Right.
I don't remember, but I was just like, I just got a wake-up call from the Edge.
Yeah, super weird.
Yeah, so.
I had a similar experience with Prince, but
Did you?
Yeah, but that's when you interview me. We'll talk about that. Hey, I know you were out
Tell me about your time with Prince.
Well, he was very short. He's kind of soft-spoken. We'll do this another time. You got so many good stories. Look at this here.
I got a great Prince impression. I'll show you after.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, because it actually gets even more interesting after the cameras go off. Seriously. Really.
That's on our Patreon page.
Yeah. We're thinking about recording it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Might inhibit us to not speak, the way we normally do. I know you went out with R. Kelly. Seems to be a little controversy surrounding him. What were your experiences?
I liked him. He's just funny
Sing his
guy.
ass off.
Guy can sing, man.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
can.
performer.
Kills it.
That was an interesting tour because his security was all the Farrakhan guys, the bow tie guys.
Sure, sure.
And they were all really cool, but
Pretty serious guys, though.
they were very serious.
Yeah.
So don't mess around with them.
Yeah.
There was one time we were in South Carolina. I remember that because it's kind of a small gym. The stage was like right there. It was like normally you got about 200 feet or whatever.
Sure.
This one just happened to be like right there. And I remember it was South Carolina because of the Gamecocks. And we were looking for shirts that, were like, you can't lick our cocks or, all these, whatever.
Sure,
So,
sure.
Something we thought was funny. Well, every show on that tour, as you can imagine, I usually have guests out there, or front of house, or there'll always be some people, right, Cheech?
VIP types you're talking about?
Yeah, or just friends of friends or
Sure,
whatever.
sure.
So you just get a bottle of wine during the day. I pour one glass for me for the end of the show, and then they can have at it. Well, these two girls showed up that I didn't know who they were, but I was like, hey, I want some wine, have some wine, and they were of age, at least not.
You threw down your moves on him. You broke out your smooth
No,
on him.
I did not.
No moves. Okay.
No moves, no. But
Just wine.
But they did. They hammered the rest of that bottle of wine down. And they're like, "Do you have any more?" I'm like, "Oh, geez, this is the first time I ever had this." So I called back to Dimmers and say, "Hey, you have another bottle of wine out here?" No problem. They sent one out, and they took care of these people. After the show, I'm loading out. I get called into the dressing room. And there's R with his boy sitting on the couch. And he's like, it was just me and the sound guy. I forget his name, but the sound guy was just like straight arrow, really great guy. But devout Christian, just very, clean, didn't drink or anything. And they had this other guy, a video guy that was out there that was afraid of his own shadow. And he was like so nervous. Oh my God, what's happening? So anyway, we're all three in there. And he's like, all right, who had the wine at front of house? And right away I was like, oh, that was me. I do it every show. Right away, it's Tim. The guy's name's Tim. He left. The other guy's like, am I still in trouble? Am I supposed to be here? And he was like, R was like, I don't care what you do during the show. It doesn't seem that it's not affecting your work, but I don't want you giving any guest. Anybody on that riser who's a guest is a guest of mine. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. Very rarely. It's usually a guest of mine,
Yeah.
But whatever, okay. I didn't know these people. All right. He said, no more wine for anybody out there. Do what you got to do, but, And I remember specifically him saying, I don't want you giving them a sandwich. I'm like, a sandwich? I'm
What?
not gonna give anybody a sandwich. Like he was just making a point. I don't want you giving them anything. Okay.
Very odd.
And then it just, he's kind of an odd guy, all right?
Yeah. I'm aware.
Maybe you picked up on that.
I'm aware.
There was a guy named Kevin who was a carpenter. It was his job to load in and load out the mattress. We always used to make so much fun of that poor guy, man.
Dude, somebody's got to do that hard work
He's
like
such a
that.
nice guy,
That
though.
doesn't. The mattress doesn't load itself in, and of course it doesn't. It's a slightly heavier when it goes out, and it's
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
and that's
So,
super fun. All right. Well,
Anyway, so at that point I realized the real issue was those are ours guests, and he wanted to get with them, and I was like, well, I thought they were older than that. Oh, all right, well, okay.
I'm sorry, that last line was precious. Thought they were older.
Smoke
than
went
that.
down the wrong
It did
hole.
because of that funny thing you just said.
Cock blocked R. Kelly.
Oh yeah, you cockblocked R. Kelly.
Yeah.
That is quite a feat. The man is, I was going to say famous, but it's really infamous for his ability to get up to some trouble. So good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you did some Ozfest. You know, those are fun, big shows that a lot of traveling.
Great tour.
You have fun with it?
That was the one with.
You deal with Sharon much?
Nah, a little bit.
She can get in the mix.
Yeah, but
you know,
Opie dealt with her.
Yeah, of course.
And Butch Allen. You know,
Of course,
You know,
yeah.
those guys. I was crew chief on it, and that was one with Tool. So we did shifts. Yeah, we do like a day shift and a night shift because the thing starts at 11.
Yeah.
It ends
Only
at
way to do it, you're gonna get
11,
crushed.
right? So we said, all right, I'm crew chief. I'll do the late shift. So I think we all helped load in, and some people stayed, and the rest of us went back, napped for a while, and then we'd come back in. The other guys would come and help us load out. But I used to sit there and just watch Denny carry because I love drummers, man.
Yeah. He's an amazing drummer. Tool's drummer is one of the better drummers in the world.
Yeah. And it really affected me when Neil died this year, man.
That was awful.
That was.
Well, you know, we happen to have friends, and that, as a matter of fact, next week's guest is Brad Maddox, who was Rush's engineer.
Yeah.
And, you know, Mike Neil's stuff, and had a close relation, and he kept it really close. As you know, Neil was private.
Totally.
But there was,
And
we knew when they stopped touring that there was some health issues there. Didn't know what it
I
was.
didn't know it was like that,
Glioblastoma is a vicious, rare thing. But yeah, it took out a great, true American legend, Canadian legend, musical
worldwide legend.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy,
one of a kind.
So many reasons.
Great lyricist, probably one of the best percussionists of all time. I believe he was a professor even. Yeah, he's sorely missed, and I could see how that would affect you.
He is. And I went to Brad afterwards, and I was like, man, this must be rough. It's rough for me. I didn't even know the guy.
Brad's had a couple rough one. Remember, he was on Lincoln Park when that happened on the Lincoln Park. He was out mixing Lincoln Park when.
Oh, really?
When was it Chester Bennington? Yeah. And
Common denominator.
Yeah.
Do not hire that guy. He is an awesome engineer, but
the direct line, the dot to dot on that is Brad's
cutting all ties is Brad Maddox.
bad juju.
Yeah,
We're
I
just
playing, to him. I
baby.
said, "Geez, it must really hurt." And he's like, "I've known for 3 years."
Yeah.
He never mentioned anything to me or
Neil
any.
was
I mean,
private. Oh
yeah,
man.
Neil especially, but the whole band, as they should be.
Well, they do meet and greets and shit too. Neil would never play that.
Nope.
Never do any of that.
He was already off.
Yeah. Hell, he was on his bike going to the next thing. Yeah. No, he was a badass. Any fun stories with Ozzy? You ever get any down with Ozzy? Because he can be super fun. Depends at which part of your career or his career. Because there was some trickier times in the early days. You know, Blizzard of Oz tour and all that was.
I have a very good story about Ozzy.
Tell me about Ozzy. Tell us.
Ozzy. So, as crew chief on that, I had the job. He used to come out in the beginning of the show. I don't know if I can I stand up here and not be not seen or? Okay. Well, anyway, pretend I'm standing, and I used to have to hold this board. Okay, there was a light called a Goya light. It was a sodium. It was like a metal halide, I think. It wasn't sodium. Metal halide light that was like a backlight. We'd have a psych on the front of the stage, and Ozzy would come out and do like this with this backlight, so you see this big shadow up on the thing, and everybody knew it was him, and the whole thing. And
God goes wild.
but the thing is, they tried to make like a electronic dimmer for it to go in the face of it, but it was going to take too long, so they didn't have time for it. And so my job was to hold a board in front of it, and then I knew the cue when to do it, and I moved the board, and that was like the shutter. So just move the board, and there he is. And this is like a summertime tour. We're doing sheds. So every time, and I'm out there, I got shorts and a short sleeve T-shirt on, just getting eaten alive with mosquitoes and stuff.
And the light's hot as hell.
Well, yeah, but you audio guys, even when you're not even working, you're complaining. So
Moth problems.
Fucking lamp.
I'm holding this thing. Ozzy starts like tweaking my ear and looking at me and doing this stuff. I'm like, God, come on, get out, you know. And then we went through it and did it. Well, the next time it was in Pittsburgh, and I remember this because my girlfriend at the time, who was then my wife, who's now my ex-wife, That's pretty standard story for this industry.
Yes.
She was at the show. She was stage right by the dimmers. And I'm holding the board, and he starts doing that again. And he was like, and he looked at me really funny. And right when the cue was supposed to happen, he pants me. The thing falls down. I'm standing there in my underwear. There's 20,000 people out there or whatever, right? Including Greg Price, Brad's
our guest in
business
3
director.
weeks from now. Ozzy's engineer and all around, everything. He'll be here pretty soon as
He
well.
probably didn't even notice it.
His head was probably down in his console, but you know.
But so I'm like running off stage, and my girlfriend was looking on there. She thought maybe Ozzy had a heart attack or something. She didn't know what happened. She looked out there. She's like, I recognize that bare ass. Yeah. So then I had to do the walk of shame during the first blackout and get my pants back.
That's so good.
Awesome. You got pants by Ozzy.
Yeah, I tried to do the switch.
Pretty old move for him.
That's legend.
I
I tried to do the switch. He had leather pants on, you know?
Company.
And there was no way.
No, they were.
I couldn't even get my fingers in there.
Painted on. Yeah. That's great, man.
Yeah.
Ozzy can be a lot of fun, particularly in the latter half of his career when he kind of shook off some of the early vestiges of the periodic table and Jack and JD and so on. Made him much more tolerable. Family Values Tour, you got a quick story on that? Yeah, I know it's Limp Bizkit and Korn. They can get, I know the Jonathan Davis and the boys can kind of get into have some fun, get into some curious behavior.
Yeah, Jonathan used to come out. I didn't know any of them. I mean, I don't really hang out with band members. He used to come out and like work with the rigger and stuff, and it was kind of cool. But there was this guitarist, I don't even know his name, for Limp Bizkit.
Wes, what's his last name? Mikey. Wes Bowen.
He's the one that
he's a badass. He's actually a really good guitarist.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a wonderful guy, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't, if you're going to have a friggin' bunny on your amp, and that is like, you got to like curl up and suck your thumb at night with your bunny, we are going to exploit that. Okay, you got to understand, a bunch of board roadies.
Yeah.
We're going to find ways to do it. So Opie was actually the production manager on that as well, and his nephew was a set carpenter. And something happened. It wasn't his fault, but he felt so bad. But something happened. A set cart broke one of the truck driver's bikes.
Wow.
And we were all doing a collection, and I said, all right, how much will you give me for that bunny? I'm going to get it.
You stole the bunny.
So I stole the bunny during the set. $200, or it was like, I think $200. Took it in production, just drop kicked it in production. I'm like, give me my money. They gave it right to, I forget the kid's name. He was awesome though, but $200 to the bike fund. So it was for good reason.
Any recoil on that?
Yeah, they sat in the bus.
My man Fred Durst come and get you?
No.
Yeah.
He probably didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He was like, good. I have no idea, but they wouldn't leave. The bus wouldn't leave till the bunny returned.
That's funny.
And at that point, I'd already sold it, so.
It was out of your hands.
Possession. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what you do over at Pre-Light Studios. I mean, I know you had that going for since 2000-ish, 2001, something like that, till right now. What's your passion over there?
I stopped doing that when I started working at Sound Image.
We kept you busy.
I wanted to just focus on one thing.
Sure.
And that's all. It was all previs. Like, we would solve problems for designers.
It's architectural.
Some architectural, yep. Like the Sky Church thing.
Sure.
Mostly corporate theater, as they call it.
Right.
But,
I know you had some big customers there, but BMW and Google and good work.
And we just use off-the-shelf stuff. We never created anything. I'm doing some work now with a company. I'm not working for them, but eventually, probably, hopefully, get hired by them.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm just getting the government cheese money. But Imaginary Labs, they actually just put a video out today.
Was it the one you showed me?
It is.
Yeah, that was pretty fantastic.
They have a visualizer that is based in Unreal Engine, and they are. It's,
Unreal 5, exactly.
They're 4.25 right now, but yeah, they'll keep going with it, and it's pretty fantastic. So keep your eyes open for Imaginary Labs. That's the future, man.
That's the future, huh?
I think so. I had a long talk with somebody in the industry that I highly regard very highly. Like I really, his opinion matters a lot to me yesterday. Sure. And he had a different opinion than I did, but I listened and he listened to me. And my thinking is shows will definitely come back, which he agreed with me, because you need that interaction. But there will also be this third element to it, this new element, which will be all of the AR, VR, XR, MR, all the R's, right? All the whatever reality.
Augmented, virtual, so on and so forth. Yeah, sure. And you're playing around with that yourself.
Well, that's the thing with Imaginary Labs that will then port right over. You can build an Unreal environment. You can get camera tracking with green screen or a mocap suit. Everything can happen in the virtual world. And the guy I was talking to said that will never replace. And I couldn't agree more. That will never replace. And his other thing was, it's always the creative to drive the technology, not the other way around.
Sure.
And that was a very good point. So we'll see where it all goes, but I think now that the tech is there, maybe the creative will adopt the tech and then go further, and then the tech will have to catch up again. So I think, yes, we will have normal shows like we have had. I don't know when. I don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah, no crystal ball.
Nobody does.
None of us do.
But I really think that the virtual side of it will not go away. So think of, 15,000 people at a show, but you couldn't get to the show for whatever reason. Maybe you live in St. Louis and the show's in LA. Well, you could be there.
Throw on your virtual reality glasses or whatever,
VR thing, and it's not the same, but for a $5 ticket, maybe now we've got 1 million people watching the show.
Well,
and I'm not saying anything new that nobody else knows now.
The video game world kind of has this. They're doing well with it. I know some folks that my father, 78 years old, and messes around with that stuff. And he told me something the other day where my mom came in while he was in one of those moments in the world shooting it up with some kids or something, and I'm not kidding. And he made him jump out of his skin a little bit because he got caught off guard because he was in his mind in this whole other world. And so I don't know. That'd be something maybe could be transferable, or I'm probably sure could be transferable into the live audio scene.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are going to be a little trepidatious about coming out to large gatherings.
Oh.
We need them to get over that as soon as possible, ideally, though.
Yeah, that also, that I thought you were going to say they're going to be a little reluctant to get into the VR stuff because it's not going to be the same.
Well, no, I think right now, more than ever, people are going to find a way to still experience things like live shows, but maybe in a slightly different way. And plus, the system has proved that we're all slowly modifying into more and more technical savvy and following the technology and things. And again, the video game market is gigantic. I mean, so huge.
Well, this tech has been there for a number of years, and there was no reason to push it to this level. Well, now we have an international disruptor. This is what they call a business disruptor. It's exactly, if there's any silver linings to this horrible disease, the silver lining is we're getting yet another way to experience entertainment. We'll see how it goes.
Well, fingers crossed. She's such a good dog. She's very sweet dog. Yeah. Tommy, I can sit here and talk to you for hours. We have in the past, and probably hopefully we will. You got one? You want?
I got one. Yeah. You want to hear another story?
Okay, we'll take one more story. We'd love to hear another story. What do you got?
We got time. Okay. Okay.
Give it up.
I'll do the best I can.
All right.
Big Rush fan. Okay. Down. Lie down.
Anybody who knows you knows that.
Lie down. All the way down.
Gigi, your papa's trying to tell us a story.
Good girl. So 87, I'm staying in at University of Delaware on a Saturday night, listening to, if there's anybody from Philly, WMMR.
Big channel.
93.3 used to play music on radio. And I was listening, they were doing a Rush giveaway. Yeah, I had to call in and answer, the question was, what were their first 3 albums? And I was like, geez, so I stayed in, I'm studying, what the heck? So I call in, actually got through. And what you would win is the Hold Your Fire album, which is great, because that was like, $15 or whatever?
Yeah.
College kid. Remember, I was making $50 a day.
Yeah.
Right? And that was every other week or whatever. Yeah. So, but then you were entered into the grand prize drawing, which was to be roadie for a day. I won that thing. I was roadie for a day.
We've actually done that in other giveaways, especially in large markets, LA, so on.
Yeah.
And we would sometimes, have those guys push into our crews, and we'd put them on feed, and we'd really work them.
The local 6 guys were like, or look, 8 Philly. Well, I forget. Anyway, I used to know them all.
Yeah.
I'd touch any gear and they'd be like, oh, yeah, what do you do? They give me a hard time, like 18-year-old college kid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man.
That's the locals' job.
Just getting a picture. I was holding like this.
That's all it is.
Yeah. So we blew up balloons on this machine. It was a balloon drop. So anyway, fast forward, I'm out with Depeche Mode years later. Yeah, I know it's boring. Yeah.
I'm out with like Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode. And we go to San Bernardino. It was like a Blockbuster, shed down there.
Sure.
And this guy, Nick Kodos, who was the production manager at the time, was the house guy there. And I started loading in, and I came into his office, and I introduced myself and said, I was roadie for a day. And he was like, just blown away. So then a couple years later, I get a call because I was working for Light and Sound Design at the time. They need a gaffer just to balance spotlights, which I'd learned from the great Tom Beck.
One of a kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I owe a lot to Tom Beck.
Yeah.
But anyway, he taught me how to balance spotlights, and LSD said they needed a gaffer for this Vietnamese show. Okay, who's the LD? Who do I have to advance it with? Oh, Howard Ungerleider. Like, oh, okay.
Boy.
So I said, I called him up to advance, and I was like, I got a really funny story to tell you, but I can't tell you until I see you. Because I didn't want to tell him over the phone, because he'd be like, yeah, get this balloon blowing up guy. No,
out of here.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Not having it.
So anyway, I got there, got to meet him. Anyway, he's still, I consider him a friend. He's a fantastic guy. And
kind of a legend.
He is definitely a legend.
Yeah.
Invented the ACL.
That's correct.
Yeah. Among other things. Light up washing machines, I think.
No shit.
Yeah. No, there was one tour he had, like, they were putting stuff on it. Anyway.
What, maybe the Rush thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty great.
Yeah, that was one of the best days of my life, though. I took my Rush buddy from high school, and we were just like, oh, man, went to the...
Little bit of heaven.
Went to the after party. We were invited to that, but we knew that they were very private, so we just kind of... Neil was from here to like there.
Yeah.
Didn't even talk to him.
Yeah. No, that's
like, I didn't know what to say.
That's best, I think.
Yeah. So.
Well, my brother.
Anyway.
Thank you for the good stories. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for bringing your beautiful Gigi. I hope we get to see each other more in the near future. It's been a minute because of this damn thing, but it was good to catch up with you. We appreciate you being on the show.
I love it.
Sharing your stuff.
I love what you're doing.
Oh, man. We appreciate it. Thank you,
It's
brother.
bad enough looking at you once, but then you got to picture yourself right over your shoulder.
Somebody pointed that out last night. I was
Did they?
thinking about changing it and putting two, just getting a three-way. It'd be really good.
It'd be like a 666. It'd be
Oh,
perfect.
stop it with the
It'd be
devil things just because of some behaviors I've displayed in the past. Just leave it alone. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Absolutely.
Right on.
Anything for you, my man.
Hey, Kyle,
Right.
I appreciate you being here as ever. You're the man. We got stuff coming up in the near future. Next week, who do we got coming up? We got Brad Maddox next week.
Yeah, good old Braddy.
He's been on the show before, but the show ran long, and we didn't get a chance to talk about some stuff that we really wanted to touch on with his with his business with Diablo Digital, and you know, his constant touring. Brad Maddox is Rush's guy, Rage Against the Machines. Shit, the list is so long, it's ridiculous. But he's the engineer for many huge acts. And he'll be here next week, so we're looking forward to that. I couldn't do this without my team. I got Mikey Brown behind the cameras, working the RF, working the switching, working the sound. He's kind of a badass. Thank you, Michael. We really appreciate it. And of course, my bosses and people here at Sound Image Productions in Southern California, Sound Image, George Edwards, our general manager, and Mr. David Shadone, our CEO, the big boss. Thank you, gentlemen. And of course, for the gear, the support we get from LSV, good friends over at LSV, that's large screen video. That's John Rigney. We appreciate it, Johnny. You're the best, bud. And our support from the lovely people over at slowfiber.com. They help us out with our social distancing so we can have the guys in the shops, you know, wearing the masks and stuff so we can still get work done and, you know, be careful about not getting sick. We hope the same for you too out there. Be careful, be safe. Thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you again next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. And until then, be well. Good night.
Have a good night, guys.